All right. Good deal. I don't know what was going on. I turned my phone off, restarted it, and now we got sound. So, Ronner, how we doing? Billy, Moonshiners, Josh. Yeah, I want to reposition this outside rod. I think I'm gonna have to put more lead on it. I got 10 ounces, and I think I'm gonna have to make a big jump because it sucked all the way out of that current. No, don't like that. Well, if you guys have never messed with these sinker clips, they're the best thing ever. You can just make a quick change sinker. I'm going up to 13 ounce. Get my donkey bait out there. Timalina, small town. How we doing? Yeah, Timalina, it depends on the gear ratio on your bait catchers. Oh, all right, guys, we're hooked up. Oh, dang it. Got off. Felt like a pretty decent fish. Guys, I'm going to change my hook. That fish just popped off. And I gave him plenty of time. And he's still, and the hook's a little bit dull. Might have rubbed it on some rocks or something. So we're gonna do a retie here real quick. And that was on a body piece of the shad. I actually still got my body section. So save it. Yeah, I need to carry a hook sharpener with it, but one thing I carry a ton of extra hooks with me. And that fish, he took down pretty good, but like I said, he popped off. So instead of being sorry, we're gonna just retie a new hook on. See if that does the trick. All right. Don't fly. How we doing? What's going on, Husky? Man, we just lost a fish, and I think the hook was a little dull. I did the fingernail trick where you take the point of your hook and dig it into your fingernail, and it kind of skipped across it. So we took that off and retied a fresh hook on. When I get home, I'm gonna have to put a sharp. I actually got half a dozen or so in the bottom of my bag. I'm gonna have to take a sharpener too. I keep a sharpener in my bass bag, but for some reason I haven't put one in my catfish bag yet. So that's encouraging. Getting a hit this quick. We've been out here, you know, just set up for about not quite 10 minutes and I already had a hit. So Stonefly, okay. The outside rod, I've got a big old huge carp section with a little bit of body on it. Second rod, I've got a big old body piece of a carp. And the inside rod that I just lost a fish on had a smaller section of a body piece of shad. I'll show you guys what I'm. These are the shad I've got, and then I've got some nice carp. So yeah, small town. The water is definitely moved. I actually had to put more lead on that outside rod. I couldn't get it. It wasn't staying pinned. So, and the fish that hit was actually on the outside current seam coming in behind this dike in the slacker water. Miller rod's getting hit, guys. That's the one that's got the body chunk of carp on it. Oh, come on. Wait for him to load up on a little bit now. All right, there we go. God dang it. Second fish I lost. I know that hook's sharp, but he would hit me. What is going to be that one of them eating these guys? Good grief. Well, they're hitting, that's for sure, but 2 fish now in a row I've lost. Oh, yeah, that hook. Well, guys, hope it ain't gonna be one of them nights. What's going on, Brian B? Bolt Kelly, what's going on? Guys, I've lost 2 fish literally within a matter of just 5 minutes, probably. I lost, and both felt like pretty decent fish. So I'm hoping it ain't gonna be one of them nights. Should have had 2 fish in already, and both pretty decent fish. Starting to feel like Big Mike last Saturday night tournament when he kept having fish pop off. Extremely frustrating. Don't fly, yes. I want to try to get some walleye fishing in. And the closest place I've got, well, there's 2 places. I've got a river, St. Francis River, which they're extremely difficult to get any kind of pattern on them. And then you can go to Carlisle Lake below the spillway down a ways, and you can get on. And that's the only place that I really know of any significant walleye populations around here. What brand hooks do I use? All right, the rod to the inside right here, I've got Gamakatsu on it. And the 2 outside rods, I've got Uncle Lou's 10-aught circles in there. And I started using them about 2 months ago, and so far I absolutely love them for the bigger baits. And the Gamakatsu, I always use that 8-aught while I'm throwing a smaller chunk like I am on that rod there. And these, like I said, I've got bigger baits. So, and the thing I like about the Uncle Lou's, super sharp, and they've got a deep gap inside the hook. And I've lost in the first 5 minutes. Probably I lost two decent fish already. So, and hopefully that's not the way it's going to shape up the rest of the evening. Silver hook, when I'm using StreamYard. Going on, Big Mike? Mike, I'm having one of them evenings already. I've only been streaming 19 minutes, and I'm having one of them nights like you did Saturday night. I've already hooked 2 good fish and lost both of them. What's going on, Rob? Oh, there we go. All right. Boy, he was starting to pull on it. Losing those 2 fish got me rattled. I should have let that fish load up a little bit. I just dropped it right back out there, and we'll see if he picks it up. Wasn't a real hard hit. I don't think it was a big fish. And boy, there was a lot of times on those fish you can reel down on them, you miss them. Just let that line right back out, and you'll get lucky and they'll pick it right back up. So hopefully that's the case. We need a skunk buster. I'm encouraged though. That's 3 hits already. So Carlisle, you're right. Hey, but you could go below there and just freaking clean house on there. But we're gonna try ball one Saturday for Josh's tournament because I got a plan. I'm hoping it works, but we'll see. Never stop raining. That that's sometimes what you just got to do. Small towns. Sometimes you got to say the heck with it and go. And I'll be honest, my favorite place is to rain when it's been raining for several days. I like to find a creek mouth that empties into the river and set up there right at the mouth of that. And man, you can usually pick up some cats coming in and out of that mouth. So, what's up, Kentucky Redneck? Lance? I didn't get a chance to say hello to you if I had to shut that first stream off. For some reason, I wasn't getting any sound, so I had to shut it down and restart a new one. I'll give that inside rod a little bit. Make sure that fish didn't strip my bait off. Reel it in and put another chunk of shad on there. So far, that's 2 hits on the shad. One on the body section of carp. David Smith, how we doing? What we got here? What did I miss here? Oh, hey, Betty, how you doing? Can't stay, getting home and stuff, ready to go to Indiana for work. Want to stop by and say, when's your next tournament, Husky? We have one Saturday. We have a couples tournament Saturday for fishing with a Chad. And the awesome thing about that tournament, let's see, we got 2 brackets, one Saturday, Sunday. Then the following weekend, there's 2 more brackets, and all the proceeds raised during the tournament will be donated to charity, and that will be the winner's choice. So that's a pretty awesome thing. Then we also, like later in February, we will have the Winter Blues tournament. It's the same concept. All the proceeds will go to charity. And Saturday is a couples tournament, so the wife will be making her YouTube debut, and I'll be honest, she's kind of nervous about it. All right, I'm gonna reel that rod up and see if he clean my bait here. on, John boy? Oh yeah, Rob, forgot to tell you. I talked to Rob the other day about going on Kelly's show, but I never did get back to him what day. Great communication. My nephew Jeremy's in chat. He's the one that's showing up the Parker Pursuits logo. That's my other half of my Parker Pursuits team. Jeremy, I done lost 2 fish already. I'm fixing to have a high speed come apart here. Middle rod here is getting messed with. Well, there's blooper of the year. Kind of happy to get more of that bait out there, and I launched back and hooked my net. John boy, I lost in the first probably 5-10 minutes of me setting up. I lost 2 pretty good fish right off the get go. I honestly don't know that well. The one I'm gonna attribute to a dull hook. So I took that hook off, put a fresh hook on. I need to bring my shark fin with me. And the second one, I don't think I just didn't give him enough time. Because it was a pretty good sized bait I had on there, and I just didn't give him enough time, I don't think. So, but they're hitting, so I'm encouraged. So. I did a little fishing Monday evening upriver from where I'm at. And I actually pulled the night crawlers out trying to get fishing frustrations. Trying to see if I couldn't get on some sturgeon. I think I caught everything but a sturgeon. Caught some channel cat, blue cat, drum, even a little bitty flathead. Nothing big, but definitely had the variety pack going on. Thank you, Buck. Hit that. What? Yeah, we just recently hit. There we go, guys. We're hooked up. Decent fish, but ain't no giant. All right, flathead. There we go, guys. A little flatty. Always love catching those bonus flathead. So get this little guy back. All right, got a little bonus flathead. Jason Lamb, how we doing? Animal, how we doing? Well, we got our skunk buster out. We should have had 3 fish right now, but that's what I call fishing, not catching. But the first 2, that was completely my fault, not hooking and getting them fish. Arnie, how we doing? Well, I must have dropped that bait right on that fish's head because that rod wasn't out there very long at all. Well, them flatheads are always fun to get in that current, but I get that head down. What's going on, sunfish? Ah, dang, Arnie, keep it. Chrissy's still down and out. Hate to hear that. Got a dredge boat coming by. They're dredging pretty good ways down the river here. Tell you what, if I had to wade again below where them guys are dredging, I think that'd be a heck of a place to fish. Because when they stirring all that stuff up off the bottom, I bet there's all kinds of stuff downstream when they're feeding. Yeah, definitely, Aaron. We all think of all say a little prayer for Chrissy. I hope she's feeling better. Heck, I want to see you guys fishing Saturday. And old dredge boat's throwing some waves. I hope so. Daniel, make you a little money. I'm gonna adjust that outside rod. The lead picked up and got me out of the current. Put some buffalo head out there and see what happens. Well, this inside rod, when I was throwing that out, it actually started to go down. And it popped right back up. I'm gonna freshen that second rod up. Got plenty of bait. So I'm gonna, like I said, I'm gonna try to keep fresh bait. So I'm gonna freshen that second rod up. Donald Ware, how we doing? Won't be too much longer. I have to flip the lights on. You know what? I'm gonna check that rod. Something kind of pulling on that. Whatever. Called rain this evening, and I bought some rain gear, my little umbrella to cover the camera just in case I needed it. But man, I'll tell you what, it is cleared up. I'm starting to see a few stars in the sky already. It's shaping up to be a beautiful, beautiful evening. All right, we need a big takedown, y'all. None of the first two fish I lost, they didn't never really ever take it down real hard. They were just kind of slowly pulling on it, and we need a big old hard slam. Hopefully the river's starting to straighten out. It's been, oh my gosh, up and down, crest, drop, and finally starting to level out, which they're definitely hitting this evening. So I lost those two fish, caught that one. I had one other hit, so definitely encouraging. going on outdoors with Dave? Title sounds like a light set up. Shed a little light in the situation. Lee, how you doing? Well, that outside rod's just been getting just tapped to death. I think some dinks have moved in there, been chewing on that. May pull that rod in and get it away from that mess. And that's a bad thing. Even if when you got a big bait on them, little guys can find that stuff and just tear it to shreds like a prawn. They'll just grab a little piece and then just start twisting. Rob and I was out here a couple 2 3 weeks ago, and I had a big old bait on there and reeled in at a little blue cat, probably that big, and foul hooked himself in the side on a 10-aught hook, trying to get that bait held. The bait was bigger than he was. Kentucky redneck doors. Oh, outside rod just, well, the inside rod just got tapped. Just threw that out. Just a little tap tap. Dinks must have found it again. I'm using a body section on that outside rod. And they're definitely liking the shad tonight. There he goes again, tapping on it. All right, got him. All right. Boy, he didn't hit it very hard. Just a little guy. Kidding me? Boy, he would have made old James Dockery proud. Big old drum. Calm down. There we go, big old drum, or as James Dockery called, silver cat. Donald, the rod I just pulled in, I got a body section shad on it. Miller rod, I've got a section of buffalo, body section of buffalo. The outside rod, I've got a big headpiece from a buffalo and half a body section. It's pretty good sized bait on an outside rod. And much as I fish this spot, that is the first drum I've ever caught out there in that current scene. But I don't ever use worms or anything. So far, a flathead, a drum, and 2 lost fish. Shut it, James. Shut it. Fins and foul. So far, we got a flathead. When we first got here, we got that drum, and I lost 2 really, really good fish. The second one I lost, I don't think I waited long enough to take the bait because I had a big body section on. Got one messing with that middle rod. Just been kind of fooled, not really taking too hard. I will use Donald. I will use drum if I'm having a hard time getting bait. Actually, I got a small drum in my box, but right now I've been really fortunate to be able to get good quality baits. I've been able to get some big shad and carp and buffalo. So I've been, but yeah, in times whenever I have caught some nice fish on drum, but it's definitely not one of my favorite baits. So be nice, James. James, I was going after some sturgeon this past Monday. I was trying to get on a sturgeon upriver, and I actually got the worms out. But man, I think I caught everything in the river but a sturgeon Monday night. I was actually kind of scouting. My dad is in his 80s, and he has hip problems and stuff, so he can't get around on these rocks. And I was kind of scouting out a spot where I could get him to, and I think I found a spot I can get him to where we can have some pretty decent fishing. I've been wanting to get him on one of these big old giant blue cat. Really, James? I think I don't know. I'm kind of thinking the fall transition is kind of past. I'm hoping the water temperatures kind of changed and hopefully got these fish out of the funk. I was struggling for a few days on the river here. What's going on, Chad? Chad, you missed it. I just caught an infamous big old silver cat in honor of James Dockery. James, be nice. Heard he's starting a new group, that Silver Cat Elite. Oh, Docker would definitely dominate that series. We'll see him in action Saturday morning, cranking them Silver Cat in. Hey, Alicia, how we doing? Drive, listen, thank you for coming in. Alicia, so far we've got one flyhead, a drum, and I lost two really good fish right off the get go. Like Big Mike was in here earlier, and I kind of told Big Mike, I said, "Yeah, I feel like you Saturday night." I said I lost like two pretty decent fish right off the get go. Stop bullying, James. Never, never. You're the meanest one out of all of us. All right, Ernie, get some sleep, buddy, and I hope, I really, really hope Chrissy starts feeling better. Poor gals that she has had a rough year. Oh, squirrel in here? Hey, squirrel, how we doing? Missed a few here. Come on, need a big takedown. Yeah, flathead, a little flatty I caught. That's the first one I've caught out there in that current. Now, if I fish off more off to the left and tie it in, I can pick a few up here and there. But yeah, that's the first one I've caught way out there in a while. Chad, how much you want to bet James will be the first one to catch a silver cat Saturday morning? Lisa, I didn't win, but he was pretty good size. I'd say around 5 pounds or so, probably. You know, John, if you fix them right away and don't freeze them, they're actually not bad eating. What's going on, Pontoon Jody? Jody caught one of your favorite fish earlier, caught a flathead. Supposed to warm up a little bit by the weekend. I was hoping it's going to stay cool because get them crappie fired up. Do not like drum. I tell you what, them things drum on light tackle are a blast. A lot of the places I fish, the creeks and stuff, are really close to the river, and the holes are full of some really good sized drum. And I catch them a lot of times on light action tackle when I'm trying to catch bass and white bass stuff out of the creek. I'll catch them on that light tackle. And I tell you what, the thing will put up a scrap. Yeah, Alicia, that's one thing. I mean, usually I don't keep them either. I will once in a great while, uh, but they are, like I said, they are fun to catch. When especially you'll get some spots. It just seems like you can catch one right after another. And them things will go after an artificial, just like a bass will. I've caught them on everything from crankbaits, spinnerbaits, jigs, everything. Yeah, some of them old time around here used to call them rockheads. But he says, yeah, 'cause they got that bone in their head that looks like a little rock. And KC fish bait. When I first got here, KC, I lost two really good fish right off the get go. Caught a flathead, and then a pretty good sized drum, not just a little bit ago. So we definitely got the skunk out anyway. They were hitting like really good when I first got out here. Now it's kind of slowed down a little bit, but hopefully it'll pick back up here. I'm going to reposition this inside rod. Change up. We'll put a shad head on there and see if that changes our luck up. Delaware, yeah, I worked up in Iowa for almost 3 years on a job. We was building a fertilizer plant up there, and I did a lot of fishing behind Keokuk Dam. And oh my goodness, them dagger gum drums, you could catch them things. I mean, quick as you could throw out. When my family would come up and visit, I'd take my girls over there, and I'd load them up with night crawlers, and they would just catch them things till they were blue in the face. Alicia, I don't know if I can't think of any other fish right off the get go that would have this, what they call the stones in their head. That ain't animal. Yeah, I've seen that different spinning reels and stuff. They'll give you the extra spool, and it'll just be a cheap plastic one. And that is the truth. Dan. It kind of sucks to have to kill a fish just to see, what the age is, especially if you're not going to eat it. But that's one thing, guys. You guys ever have any questions about fish, just about biology questions in general? Mr. Dockery is full of good information. Then he also has the resources. He works with the conservation department a lot, so he's around fish biologists and everything. So he can get just about any kind of information you guys have. You have a question about a fish. Don said caught a ton on the old Zepco 33. I bet there's probably been more fish caught on them Zepco 33s than any other reel made. Safe bet, I'd say a good majority of people. Boy, he thumped it a couple times, like he was gonna, like he was gonna go with it, and then that was it. That shad head I just threw out. Kick back here and let's see if he'll decide to commit to it. What's going on, Brad? May have to rig up one of these other rods, a big old shad piece. That seems to be I'm getting a lot of my hits on. Might pull a center rod in and put a big old head and half a section of body piece on it. We'll give it a little see. It's been here 30. Let's give it about another 5 minutes on that rod, and we'll change that out and put a big old uh, body section and head piece of the shad on there. Good deal, Brad. I was wondering. I was hoping. I sent them out uh, over the weekend. I was hoping you guys got them. And I will say though, fish toying with my emotions. Third time he's hit that. Pretty decent, and he hasn't committed to it. All right, Danimal. Have to check you out. That's exactly what I do. I get off work, hurry up throwing stuff in the truck, and rush down here and get bait and everything, and been trying to do at least one live a week. We'll slow down a bit here once late October and November get here, because I'll be trying to. If I do have time, I'll be getting in a tree stand, chasing deer. So. All right, let's pull that middle rod in. We'll change the bait up. We'll put a big old section of head and body on our shad and see if that gets them hit. All right, guys, we'll throw that big old dude out there and see if we can't get a little something going. Need a big hit, guys. We need a big hit. Well, that's one thing I will say, guys. If you can, and you have a variety of baits, sometimes you just got to keep playing around and switching baits. I mean, I love using like buffalo and common carp for bait, but there are some times where bluegill or shad will be the definitely be the better bait sometimes. One of the big reasons I like that common carp and that buffalo, it's bloody, and plus I can get a big bait out of it. If I can get my hands on fresh skipjack, I'd 100% be throwing some skipjack, but it's really hit and miss around here getting on them. Once a great while you'll get lucky and catch them messing around these dikes, but like I said, it's really hit and miss. Well, if any of you watching and hasn't subscribed to the channel, definitely appreciate it. Steve Mosley. Boy, I fished at that inside rod about 2 or 3 times. Popped it pretty good, but never did get pin. I got a shad head on that, so I don't think he would have knocked it off there. Brad said, I like shad, moon eye when we can get them. Moon eye, my favorite. The Ohio River bait is chicken. Brad, I mean, anybody watching my video, they know I got no problem using chicken. I've caught a lot of fish on chicken, which I have been using any chicken as of late. Just the fact that few times I've been, I just could not keep the dinks off of it. But we were fishing Chad's tournament, couples tournament this weekend, and I will 100% have some chicken on my rod. So I'm fishing on a lake. So, and everybody says they do better with the chicken in hotter weather. It's been the exact opposite for me. I've done better in the cooler weather. Yeah, that's my nephew. Like I said, he's the other half part of the shoe store. We finally got merchandise put out just not too long ago. We got a little bit of everything. Jeremy, while you're in here, shoot me the time, would you? I didn't keep track of what time it was when I got out of here. I kind of have figure I'll fish to about 9 or so, maybe a little later, especially the bite picks up. child load. 7:43. All right. Okay. We got a little while yet. I will say when I do use chicken, I'm partial to chicken boneless chicken thighs. Just seem like they're a little fattier and they stay in the hook a little better. And honestly, I don't think it makes a difference if you mix it with the Kool-Aid or whatever you decide. I've tried it both ways, but I will say I think the Kool-Aid seems like it toughens it up a little bit and stays on the hook a little better. Give that outside rod another 20 minutes though, and I'll probably pick it up, reposition it. I've got it kind of close, tight to the dike there. There's an eddy right out here, and I'm trying to get that bait in there and see if there's anything in there. The Ohio is a great fishery, I think. Well, thank you very much, Fish Frustrations. I haven't figured out how to do the super chats or anything on the stream yards or anything yet. And honestly, I haven't really fooled with it too much. I know it can be done, but I just haven't messed with it yet. But we got a barge coming up river. It's the only thing you can see is the running lights. You don't have any of its big lights on or anything. I'm sure you guys can hear it. Maybe we'll get a barge bite. That's what I thought, Fish Buster. Yeah. Brad, yeah, definitely. I know. If it wasn't so far for me to drive, I'd probably hit the Ohio, especially my kayak. Uh, I hadn't fished the Ohio in years, and when we fished Josh Gunnigan's Ohio River Pool tournament, I got out there with Heath Stapleton, H&S Outdoors, and yeah, I wouldn't be one bit leery at all to get my kayak out there. And I may make the trip up there one day and do some drift fishing in the kayak. Because as far as rivers close to me, I got the Mississippi here. I've got the Kaskasky River, which is a really, really good fishery too. And I have the St. Francis, which is a little bit of a drive, but they don't have any blue cats. It's just got flatheads and channel cats. Well, okay, let me rephrase that. It's stretch of dive fish. But if you get down below that, down towards the river, you'll start getting into some blues. But going on, Chris? And I do have the Missouri River. Forgot about that. But it's about takes me a couple hours to get to the Missouri River. I'm gonna try to get a trip in there for the end of the year. I have the Park 16 Jeremy in chat, and he lives up there really close to the Missouri. So I think I'm trying to get a trip together with him and get up there, and we're gonna get after some of them big old blue cat in the Missouri River. Oh, 100%, Brad. 100%. I agree with that. 100%. It's just like these wing dikes. I spent a lot of time on. These dikes are not created equal by no means. I mean, there's different structure around it, different depths, different current flow. But one of the big reasons I fish right here, there's another dike below me, and I've got a huge eddy pocket out here, and I'm right next to tight to the main channel on this one. Yep, that's true. The Curry River. Forgot about that. Danimal, it's another small river up here around Wentzville, Missouri, and it empties into the river, so it's always got fish coming in and out of it. Well, I'm gonna tell you what, all for that sun went down, breeze picked up. It's actually getting a little chilly out here. All right, let me get my bait box here. I'm gonna dig around here and find me a good bait to put on that outside rod. Got me some carp. Probably gonna put me a nice body section, I think, on there. I've had a headpiece on that all afternoon, and I have yet to get a hit on that headpiece. Alright, gives us a nice big old body section. This is right there why I like using carp, because they stuff bloody. I talk about here and there in part of the stream. I do believe Abe also talks about fishing it. Scroll back and see what y'all talking about. All right, Chris. Yeah, yeah, easy down the Arkansas, the Canadian River. Yeah, yeah, we got some crazy games coming creeks and rivers out here. All right, got fresh bait on everything. So Let me go back here and see what I missed here. Lisa, thank you for coming back in. Yeah, I usually don't get too crazy. Uh, if I'm using chicken in a lake, I'll go to, like a quarter, a little bigger. But if I'm fishing the river, I'll put about a $half size, sometimes bigger. And I've used a whole thigh before and caught fish. And I usually drop, almost always I use anywhere from 8 to 10 circles. But if I'm using chicken, I will downsize sometimes, like especially on a lake, down to a 5 or 6 depending on the mood of the fish. Yeah, at least I lost. I think you might have been in here earlier. I lost 2 good-sized fish right off the get-go. I don't. Extremely frustrating. Alicia, prayers to you. I mean, I know you've been going through an extremely tough time this past week. So, come on, y'all. We need a big takedown. Well, hopefully that's not the case, Alicia. Brad said, making things happen everywhere today. Hope the boiler maker is smaller than me. Wasn't a fat kid. Brad, I feel you. I was working over in Alton today at a plant, and we had to get inside of a vessel, and it was everything I could to make myself fit. Meant the world to me that I could be there for her. Alicia, I hope everything goes by good and everything. You just make peace with it and So it's tough. My wife, she just lost her aunt and uncle. Oh, I guess it's been a month now, a little over a month now, in the same week, and that was a tough one. Dang, devil, that's a big old boy. Oh my God, Brett, yeah. And dadgum and the lanyards, oh my God, they catch on everything. Brad's in the same type of work I am. We build scaffolds for a living, and we wear tool lanyards. So like more up at heights and stuff, tools don't fall off, and they do. They catch on. I mean, oh my gosh, they catch on everything. But it keeps people safe below if something a tool does come out. But it's just sometimes like, oh my goodness. All right, Danimal. Oh my goodness, kebabs and steak. Woo, man. I haven't eaten them since this morning. So yeah, when I get home, I'm definitely putting the feed bag on. Dang, that's a big old boy, Brad. Yeah, see some of them old boys climbing a scale makes a guy nervous. Well, y'all, I cannot believe how much it has cooled off in the last hour. It, it has gotten crazy cool out here. I might have to wuss out and put my. I got a rain jacket I keep in my backpack. I might have to put it on. What's going on, Roger? Roger's right off the get go. I lost two really good fish back to back, and I call flathead and a big old drum, a big old piece of cut shad, and that was all right before it got dark. And once it got dark, the bite has slowed down big time. But I just repositioned the rod, so hopefully, let's see, let's stay live about another 50 minutes, I think. That'll still get me out of here when I walk out here, and I won't be super late before I get to bed. What's going on, Mark? How we doing, buddy? Want to be outdoors? What's going on? How we doing? Matt, so far, my first guy here, I lost two really good fish back to back. I was fixing to scream, and then I caught a flathead, and then a big old drum, aka silver cat, James Dockery's favorite fish. And that was all before right before it got dark. And then once it got dark, the bite has slowed down big time. I've had a few fish hit, but nothing that's wanting to commit. Micro, how we doing? Oh, something messing with that inside rod. Just something kind of tapped on it. Keep waiting for that outside rod to double. I got a big old donkey bait on that outside rod. Oh, Yes, Brad, I had to go when we was on that Iowa job up there in Weaver. I had to go through that whole mess, do that, uh, do that a few years ago. I had to take like a 3 day or a supervisor slash sensitivity training. Hardest 3 days of my life. Couldn't hardly stay awake during the whole thing. Let me see here. Mark, yeah, like I said, I've got I lost two big, good sized fish right off the get go. And I literally wasn't here probably 10, 15 minutes, and I lost two big fish back to back. Caught a flathead, and then a good sized drum. I seen you posted a nice flathead this morning. That was awesome. I think the last live I did, you were thinking you had about a week left for them flathead shut down. It was good to see you get on the board, but it looked like a good one. Let's see here. Easy now, Husky. I'm an absolute ray of sunshine. Yeah, Brad, that's kind of one of the whole reason I had having some issues with some guys up there, and I may or not have lost my cool. Mark Knott, how we doing, buddy? Mark, you'll have to watch Husky Outdoors. He's one of them ditch pickler guys. He's sponsored by Pattern Tackle, hardcore uh, bass fish. I've been trying to show him the evil and error of his ways and convert him to becoming a cat fisherman. Mark Knott, so far, let's see, Mark said, once you go cat, don't turn back. That's about right. Don't get me wrong, I love doing my multi-species fishing, but man, I always come back to these big cats. Mark, I lost two big fish right, literally within the first 10, 15 minutes of being here. Then caught a flathead, and then a big drum, and that was all right about the last bit before dark. And then once it got dark, the bite has just really, really slowed down. I've had a few thumps here and there, but nothing wanting to commit. Like I said, not gonna happen. Me and I have gotten Husky Outdoors out here catfishing with me before. We was out here, oh my gosh, it's been a few years ago. We don't want these dikes, and we had another good friend of ours that's not much of a catfishman, and he come out here with us, and we got a rod thrown out, and we told him, said, hey, you need to make sure you keep that rod, anchored down, because if the fish hits, it's going to yank that rod in the water. Well, he didn't anchor it up very good, and it couldn't have been more than 10 minutes after I said that. Whew, there went that rod flying out in the river. But I just happened to have a rod laying there. I hadn't thrown out yet. I hurried up and grabbed it, and I threw it out and started reeling real slow, and I got lucky, and I snagged his line and pulled it in. Still had the fish on it. I gave the rod to him, and he got it in. It was actually his PB blue cat. Mark, I'll tell you what, I think we're kind of going through that fall transition. Because the river here has definitely been in a funk. I did fish Monday evening. I got home. I didn't have much time to fish, and I went upriver actually trying to catch some sturgeon. They've been catching some sturgeon on a sandbar up here, trying to make a little video. And I caught all kind of stuff that night. I was using night crawlers, but nothing big. It was all. I mean, I caught the variety pack, but. And when I first got here, I was really encouraged. I lost those two good fish right off the get-go. I said, all right, we're going to have a good night here. Silver Fox, how we doing? Well, Mark, you got the big one out of the way. Yeah, that little channel cat can be especially getting them thing, that can be, especially if you got light gear. A little channel cat can be a blast. I caught a handful of them Monday night too, little old probably pound to 2 pound channel cat. They were knocking the tar out of them worms. Then they hit the bottom. They were now like fishing a little current break up the river here on that sandbar. And there were some guys that have been just catching sturgeon. Well, it's been about 2 weeks now. They were just catching sturgeon like crazy. That's absolutely right, Brad. Yeah, Brad, I keep threatening to bring some like chicken and some night crawlers with me and rig up a rod just to keep you guys entertained. But I'm hard headed and I like fishing these big baits right now and hoping for that giant. Dragging baits, but yeah, especially this time when they're in that transition period, is definitely a good way to find your active fish. One of these days when I eventually get a boat, I think that'll be a game changer for me. I'll be able to hit multiple locations in an afternoon or whatever. And Hey, Cujo, what's going on, buddy? Cujo, when I first got out here, I hooked two really, really good fish, and they both come off. And I caught a flathead and then a big drum. That was all right before it got dark. And then, and the bite is slowed down tremendously since dark got in. But that outside rod's been getting something. I've got a big old body section on it. Something's been kind of just tapping on it a little bit. But boat's close to being alone, but probably not before the tournament trying to spot it on the Ohio River this weekend for the bank. Yeah, me and the wife are in Chad's couples tournament, and we were going to try to fish out of our kayaks, but I don't know how we'd be able to stream with both live stream with both of us in separate kayaks, even if we were tied up. So we are going to be bank fishing it. Later, Mark. Thanks for coming in. Damn, what I bet you are stuff for the steak and kebabs. Yeah, I would have. Oh my gosh, I would have put a hurting on that. Fifty thumbs up. Oh, thank you very much, everyone. I appreciate everybody that comes in. It's like I said, this live stream and the whole YouTube thing is not possible, with everyone. Catfish regulator, what's going on, buddy? What's going on, Aaron? Well, Aaron, right off the get go, when I got set up here, I lost two really, really good fish right off the get go. And this is right before dark. And I caught a flathead and a big old drum. And once it got dark, the bite has just really, really slowed down. I'm going to give it about another 30 minutes, I think. And then we'll see what happens. Still got to walk out of here and shower up and eat a little something, something before And 4 a.m. comes off early. I'm going to reposition that inside rod. All right, let's see if that helps matters out. Definitely Cujo. Yeah, Cujo. We have known each other. Oh my gosh, since grade school, like junior high, and we've been best friends ever since. We've been through a lot of crazy crap, you know. And I scaffold. No, it is not, Brad. Yeah, we're doing one of our power plants. We're building it's a giant. That's probably 80 foot wide, 100 foot long, and almost 200 foot up. And they've been stocking material steadily for the last week, and they're probably going to start that build, I imagine, first of next week. Then we got a job coming up at a lead plant where I may have to completely shave everything, my goatee, everything, do the mask requirement and everything, whatnot. And oh boy, outdoors, how we doing? Yeah, Brad, I'm a big boy too, and got no problem getting around. But as I get older, takes a little longer to recover after them big jobs. Weather cools off, I'm gonna have to try to do one of these weekends. I'm gonna have to try to get my kayak out and do some drift fishing and go live for you guys or local power plant lake I fish and usually do really well over there. So not so much in the giant fish, but numbers. It's definitely a good place to fish. Yeah, kitty, 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 kitty. Come on. Oh, I got one that keeps messing that outside rod. He just barely hitting there every once in a while. He's not wanting to commit. going on, Terry? Well, Brad, everything we got coming up, it's pretty rough. I mean, we got a lot of stuff coming up. It doesn't look like any of it's gonna be a piece of cake. Terry, it's been a before it got dark. I had lost two really, really good fish. Caught a flathead and a big drum, but once it got dark, the bite has just went to poo. Inside rod just got a little thump. Ooh, big tank job. Lots of plank and stuff like that. Fish frustration. That's one of the things. That's kind of cool about the job me and Brad do. You get to see some really cool stuff, and get some of the best views you can imagine. That is 100%, Brad. Massive thing. Did the hazmat thing for a while. Yeah, that's the one training I had to get, and I thank God I haven't had to mess with it. Gee, Smithy, how we doing? Mm. Oh gosh, Mark. Yeah, I bet that was a nasty job. Those tankers get all kind of good stuff in them. We're actually building a scalpel right now at a big vinegar plant. And you want to talk about, oh my gosh, the whole time in your eyes are just on fire. Even with the mask on, you still can't hardly breathe. It's been a rough couple of days. So hopefully one more day in that job, and then we move on to the next one. With you? No, no. Yeah, Brad. Yeah, those working around ammonia, boy. That's whew, especially when the wind changes on you and you end up getting a snoot full of it and straight up just take your breath away. Or else you'll get in a tank or something and they're well galvanized, nearby. Boy, you'll get a splitting headache from that. Boy, dredge boat just went by and boy, it's throwing some waves up. Oh, Smith, if you went out, damn him, gosh know when you're gonna see him again. Cocoa or gas plant himself. I feel you, Mark. I got 4 dog bones, and sometimes you're like, oh my goodness. On the train. Biffy, he knew you were looking for him. He knew you was looking for him. Said, man, I better get home. Mama's gonna be getting on me. Biffy, good night. Thank you for coming in. I'm getting ready to shut her down here in just a few few more minutes. I'm gonna shut her down. Finish out the work week, and then Friday evening go get me some fresh bait for Saturday's couples tournament. On stream here in the UK, I gotta sleep now. Yeah, Fish Fetcher, I greatly appreciate you coming in. Everyone, I greatly appreciate everyone coming and watching the rods with me. Once it got dark, it slowed down big time. I'm really wondering if I'd been able to get out here a couple hours early. I mean, it wasn't possible, but I'm kind of thinking the bite was definitely during the daylight hours today. Definitely as the season progresses, starts getting a little cooler. I'll probably most of my fishing will be centered toward daylight. Seems like I do a lot better in late fall and winter in the daylight. I like to get some sleep. Frustrations. We'll see you on the next one. See, we'll give it another 5 minutes, guys. Hey, what for being cool as I'm kind of surprised. I actually got a little bunch of little bitty bugs flying around. A few moths. Cicadas stuff or frogs were when it first got dark, they were raising a racket, but ever since it started getting cooler, they quieted down. Small town, yeah, call them in. They once it got dark, the bite just shut down. Small town, you're right, but boy, like, I gotta be at work 4 a.m., so I gotta once I get everything reeled in, everything, and it'll be another hour if I get home. By the time I walk out of here and everything, actually, I'm gonna start reeling some rods in, and Guys, thank you so much for coming in and watching the rods with me. And hopefully next one goes a little better. Like I said, it started off good when it was daylight, but I think once it got dark, the bite just shut down, which is a lot of times the case getting this time of year. But guys, thank you so much for coming in, watching the channel, and supporting me. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Later, Steve.